Good morning, everybody. Yes, we're getting flash. We've got names up on our little screens because we have guests on today. So in case you didn't know who we were, I'm Rabs from Rugby Heartland. And good morning, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you getting on?
Oh, you know, it's another day, another dollar and all that sort of rubbish. But, hey, Heartland's done and dusted for week one. And as I said, yeah, I dropped a couple. I was very happy when North Otago were leading 21-10 against Wanganui, but Wanganui proved too strong. And as I said, we are going to have a special guest on today. So unlike other TV shows you might watch on television, we don't need QR codes and all that rubbish. So just throw in your comments if you got any questions for our esteemed guest, who we will bring in now. Good morning, Mr. Daniel Bell, commentator extraordinaire.
Kia ora kau. Very good morning both to yourself, Rabs, and a very good morning to yourself, Mike. Great to be joined by two esteemed men of your calibre, and great to be on to discuss and dissect and analyse. Absolute pleasure to be on.
Yeah, well, we'll be looking at all the Heartland, NPC, Farah Palm Cup, Rugby Championship and other stuff. So what are you looking forward to in today's show, Mike?
The voice of Heartland's here. How good's that?
Yeah, too kind.
I know. I mean, literally, we have got some highlights of one game, the South Canterbury Wairarapa Bush game. We might just sit back, turn off the sound, and let Daniel commentate it for us on the cheap.
Donnie.
Some high-scoring games. There'd be a lot of talking, boys, if I was commentating those games, all of those games over the weekend. Some high-scoring dramas, as you can see. Some massive results.
So it all kicked off up there at Waihi. So mid-Canterbury. Okay. All I was getting in Masterton was ping, 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 ping on my bloody phone from a Mr. Sheehan. Wow. Mid-Canterbury, they muscled up at Waihi, didn't they, gentlemen?
Yeah. Well, I said a couple of weeks ago, I said they better be ready for us because we're coming and, well, I think we blew them off the park, really.
Yeah. What did you think of it, Daniel?
Yeah, mid-Canterbury were coming in thermonuclear, coming in real hot. They looked like a very strong side on paper. I like who they were bringing up there and picking up from where they left off last year, where we saw how dangerous they were and the fact they were the one team able to take South Canterbury and defeat them, take them out of the competition. And we saw the rugby and brand they played, and it looked like they got some good recruits and some good local talent coming through. And I knew they'd have a chance up there. Thames Valley, for mine, didn't look quite as strong on paper as they had last season. That's my personal opinion on it. I think Mike was in agreement when I was talking to him just slightly earlier about it, Rabs. I had a feeling both teams had chanced their arms, both got pretty decent forward packs, but that is a big win for mid-Canterbury to go up against what has been a very strong Thames Valley Swamp Foxes side. To head up north with that travel and still bring up 50 points and win by 16 is that's a huge result for them. Getting a bit of, I wouldn't go far as calling it revenge, but it would have felt pretty good for them. They would have thought they had their chances in that final. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been up to Waihi traveling. I've travelled up there a couple of years ago, watched them play East Coast, and it's not an easy place to get to. It's quite a drive to get to Waihi. So it was awesome. And, of course, I was watching it on my phone as well through the Facebook live stream. And 3 of those tries, the mid-Canterbury forwards just muscled up, a couple from 22 metres out, a couple from 10 metres out, and just walked over the Swamp Foxes. It was just like, yeah, something not right there, eh?
Yeah, I agree, and I'm sure Mike will be able to shed a bit more light on it, Rabs. But I thought in the final last year, that Thames Valley forward pack was incredibly strong. Both packs played well, but I thought they were really strong. I didn't think they were quite as effective. Obviously, it is the first round of the year, But, and as you alluded to as well, Thames Valley is known for a few things, beautiful climate, but also, I love the fact they've got so many different rugby grounds they play at. Goodness me, they must have about 5 or 6 different grounds. I remember commentating, boys, at the Love Town, the Araha. I've never had the joy of commentating at Waihi, but it would have been tough travel, I would have thought, for Mid-Canterbury. So, yeah, but going back to the forward pack, I don't know where you sit, Mike, and I agree there, Rabs, that they weren't quite as they were in last year's season and final.
Yeah, obviously this year with that forward pack, we've got Jacko in there that got 3 of the tries. He's got more toe than a Roman sandal. McGregor Best, McGregor Best on the blind side, obviously an import from New Brighton club in Christchurch, and well, you got Declan McCormick as well. Hunter Stewart, Zach Healy, and the big man at the back, Manasa Samo, who's probably bigger than most of their players. But yeah, I thought it was a good performance from the forwards, especially.
Yeah. So, but hey, well done. You guys are near the top of the table because you didn't end up getting the biggest point for and against. I was over in Masterton for this Wairarapa Bush South Canterbury game. Had the pleasure of being with Tim Hyde-Smith and Jeremy Sutherland standing beside me. And it was a great game. I was trying to give them, this is, your time to start slipping down the rankings. And at halftime, it was 24-22 to Wairarapa Bush, only for Tim Hyde-Smith to turn around and go, last year at Pleasant Point, it was 33-32, and look what happened. And I went, shut up.
I remember that. I was calling that game last year, and I pretty much had no voice by the end of it, the way it boiled out like that. And as Mike was saying before, I've called a few Jackson Donlan tries in as well. And they can be such high-scoring encounters, Rabs, but that was quite a similar sort of scoreline, wasn't it? In a way.
It was. And, I mean, they came back out. We were looking at the bench, sitting there having a chat with Brent Anderson. Name drop. Vice President of Rugby. And I actually said, Wairarapa Bush have got a nice, strong bench. But unfortunately, when they started bringing on their bench did not fire. So Wairarapa, though, are missing 4 odd players through injury that will be coming back into the team. But the scoreline does not reflect the game. With about 5 minutes to go, South Canterbury did get a penalty try, and then Wairarapa Bush let them in for an easy try right near the end. So 14 points in the last 5 minutes really blew that score out. And for the 4th consecutive match, South Canterbury have put 50 plus on Wairarapa.
That's quite something, yeah.
It is. What do you think of the new look South Canterbury team as mainlanders?
It's I had a look at their team sheet on paper, and the first person to pop out at me was number 10, Braden Dew. I'm not too sure where he's from, but then I got the intel that Miles Medlicott and Dan Patterson were injured or unavailable. Good to see Vinny back at 15. He's got speed. But, yeah, I mean, they needed to hit the ground running. They've got a different coaching setup this year, well, minus 2 of them. But, it's going to be interesting going forward how they perform against Thames Valley this coming week down at Fraser Park. Yeah,
Daniel?
Yeah, I've got a bit of oil. I spoke to one of the players down there, boys. I thought I'd find out what I could there, Mike and Rabs. They basically said really good just from the players themselves, really good to get the win. Obviously, you want to get that win first round. Mentally, it's a huge start for teams to get that. But a few things to work on, which is good. So they've got their win, but got work-ons. But round 1, just a few things to iron out. Now, Braden is from the BOP, I've been told. So he's from the Bay of Plenty, and he's come down, and I've heard some big raps on him that he goes good. That's what I'm hearing. I heard the word goes bloody good, and he's from the BOP, and he looked pretty good to me. They've got a lock there from Christchurch as well. Jack, a big unit, strong, positive ball runner and tackler, and Jimmy, great to see Jimmy Robertson, of course, coming through. Had a bit to do with him here in Christchurch with Marist Albion, and he goes good, and he'll have a really nice 1-2 punch with Willie Wright. So they'll have plenty at the base of the scrum. So feeling positive about their halfback first five combo to give you some oil, guys. But just a really important few weeks with them and many teams starting well, because if you drop games, it makes it harder. You want to have some banked, but hey, they have got a huge game this week against the Foxes, who will be looking to bounce back.
Yeah, well, they did leave poor old Willie did leave a few points on the field there with a few misconversions. I did say to Tim Hyde-Smith, maybe you should increase his check for kicking practice. But the good oil is there. I was having a quiet beverage as the team arrived. I did try to go to their hotel and nobble them before the game with a couple of hair hops, famous... what do you call it? I've got to be careful apparently and say what I say about liquid refreshments, but yeah, it didn't work. But I did say to Willie, I thought you were retiring last year, Willie. I'm sure I heard something. And he goes, no, I'm at 91 games. If we can get through to the semis, I can bring up my century, and plus I said, oh, well, what did the wife say? And she said, go.
Yeah, it's funny. I think she's really, really supportive. My understanding, the parents' wife, very supportive of Willie's football. And why wouldn't you be? Personally, I'd love to see him go 100 games. I know he's hard work out there for opposition teams, and he's one of the biggest sledges in the game, but he's fantastic. He's been a huge help to me, and I think we need characters like that in the game, guys who want to win and want to win by any means. And I know he, as he's getting older, he's getting a bit softer too, not in terms of his rugby, but he's, he's pretty friendly guy. So, I really well and truly hope he does get there this season. Deserves it. Yeah.
Well, he is. He's an awesome guy off the field as well, very approachable. So last week I said North Otago are going to beat Wanganui because Wanganui 9 new debutants in their side. Look down at my phone, 21-10 to North Otago, and my face just lit up, and I'm going, man, I nailed that bastard. Only for them not to come out in the second half.
How often do you see that in Heartland rugby as well, boys? I'm sure you'll smile here, Abs and Mike. You're looking at scores, you look at the first half, you see teams like South Canterbury or whoever it may be, Wanganui in this case, you see them down by 10, 20-odd points, and you think, oh, here we go. And it's a real tale of two halves in this game, ain't it? So it's a good point you bring up there, Abs. It sounds like a tale of two halves here at the Cook's Gardens.
Oh, it totally was. And, I did see a message on our Facebook page from Wanganui Rugby going, oh, we drew with the Hawke's Bay Saracens. We did, if you are watching Wanganui. We did actually mention that the previous week. We were running through the result that you got beaten 41-0 by the Centurions before the thing. So we do acknowledge that you had good games, and against the Saracens, it is a good result getting a draw. But so I still have them in my Lahore Cup picks, and I think North Otago can bounce back. We'll go through those games in a moment, all three. The live TV game. Well, this week it is going to be the Bill Osborne Tonga, but last weekend it was at Levin, and the Buller Boys, well, they had a tough ask. They had a tough pre-season. Horowhenua 59-14, and one number 7, Jack Sturmey for Horowhenua, picking up 5 meat pies.
It was a spanking, really, wasn't it? I thought Buller might have done a bit better, but obviously there's a bit of travel involved, and Horowhenua looked good this year, and as you said, Jack Sturmey got 5 meat pies, so we've got them this week down here. And I think I said to Donnie the other day, I said Declan McCormick's going to have his work cut out marking him.
Yeah, well, and if you want anyone doing it, it's certainly Declan McCormick. He'll do a really good job. But what a day out for Sturmy. Really treated himself there at Levin Domain, Living La Vida Loca, as they call it. And yeah, he was brilliant, and so much experience at the back with a player and captain like Khan Fotuili, being able to come into the game with so much wealth, experience, knowledge, and they look good to me. They really impress me. I know Buller, a smaller region, less players to pick from. They showed some glimpses, but yeah, they'll have a lot to deal with this year. Yeah, they'll have to really fight tooth and nail every single game. But credit there to Horowhenua Kapiti, who looked like they used some great width and looked to go through the middle with players like Sturmy as well, playing a very smart brand of rugby there at Levin Domain.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit like mid-Canterbury. You didn't really see a lot of Horowhenua during the pre-season, just doing camps and stuff like that. A lot of it would have been after they lost a week with club rugby because of referee abuse as well, so they would have had to change up their training camps. But I thought Buller hung in there as long as they could, and yeah, and I still have them down to pick up the odd upset this year. Horowhenua, as I said, will come to those games and do travel down south, but really, I think Mike Winters and team shouldn't read too much into that result. But then we had the upset of upsets. As I said, if I'd taken all my bloody stats, I would have said Poverty Bay all day, every day. But East Coast all day, every day. But Poverty Bay, first game back at Rugby Park in Gisborne while they're still building their new grandstand. Yeah, 18-8. It was a battle royal in defence in this match. East Coast had a few opportunities, but just couldn't convert them.
Yeah, I was surprised with this result. I was picking East Coast to win, but you know, Poverty Bay come to the party. I think they played really well, and as you said, East Coast missed some opportunities that probably cost them the game in the end. But well, there's always next week.
Yeah.
Same as you boys. I've got to say, I would have picked Ngāti Porou East Coast to win that. I commentated a game, the exact same game, fellas, 3 years previous at Rugby Park in Gisborne, and it was torrential rain and two fantastic hakas, of course, there, Ngāti Porou and Tairawhiri, Poverty Bay Weka, and it was incredible. So much physicality and feeling in the game, and it was a good old-fashioned dogfight. Reason I allude to that, looks like it was once again a good old-fashioned dogfight between two teams who love each other off the field, maybe not like each other quite as much on the field, and look like they really got into the grind, and I think that would have suited Poverty Bay getting into the grind in that game. And that's a big win for the Weka, because I wouldn't have picked them either to coming up trumps there, but a nice win at home for them to start things off in round one.
Well, yeah, I mean, both Horowhenua and Poverty Bay had seasons to forget last year, and now they've made 2025 a good winning start. And just because you said you commentated at Rugby Park in Gisborne, really? You got a word in over Ben O'Brien-Leaf?
Barely, the great man. He was sidelined. We got him sidelined for that one. Was guys, I had myself, Graham Purvis, and O'Brien Leaf, and he brought plenty of entertainment and made me feel very welcome. But yeah, pretty lucky to get a word in, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he didn't need a microphone from halfway either, did he?
No, yeah, geez, he makes me look quiet. It's not easy.
I love you, Ben. You know, he's already thanked me for the stats for this week's game. Yeah. Yeah, he is a legend of the game in the commentary terms. And then, of course, we've got West Coast King Country, our first South Korean playing Heartland Rugby, Jin Hun Mun, at scrum half for the Coasters. I think both you and Mike, last week picked West Coast to win this, but I thought it might have been a little bit closer. And it's awesome to see that we're getting live coverage out of John Sturgeon.
Yeah, I actually picked King Country Rebs to win this, but I thought the Coast looked really good. That wee scrum half had a good game. So did what's his name? Gordy Lloyd, I thought had a good game too. But it was good weather over there, and it's good to see the live streaming coming out of the coast. But yeah, I think the King Country boys will be disappointed with that performance. To be fair.
Yeah, well, Nick Cumming was doing the commentary and sideline. Just a quick note out to Mr. Nick Cumming. It's not Gordon Lord, it was Gordy Lloyd. So, I mean, come on, mate. He's your captain. Get it right. What did you think? West Coast coming back to, again, it was a repeat of the Lahore Cup final. Got their little bit of payback for that game last year.
Yeah, look, being a Greymouth born and bred boy, I certainly wasn't losing tears over King Country losing that game, having been brought up at John Sturgeon Park. John Sturgeon actually a very good friend of the old man's, worked for the Stay United Club in Greymouth when Dad was playing through the 80s, 90s. But no, I thought Gordy Lloyd is one of the best players I saw in Christchurch Club Rugby. Big, physical, robust number 8 who put a lot of hurt into teams this year. He will be monumental for them. They have a really good forward pack, like Troy Tofari, obviously the player coach, and some big props in their forward pack. They will do a lot of their work in the forwards. Really like the look of the halfback. And big shout out to Nick Cumming. If you are looking for a lead commentator or comments man or whatever you need over there, just give us a shout. And if I'm not working, I'd love to come over and or love to do a game. But that is a huge win for them once again, same as Mid Canterbury, who lost the Meads Cup final to Thames Valley. Sorry to bring it up, Mike, and Lahore. West Coast going down in the dying stages there to King Country. They're great results and great for Heartland to see those two teams come back and extract some a little bit of vendetta there, but that would have been satisfying. That's a big win for Coast. That's 20 points. To put 20 points on King Country, even if you are playing at home, that to me is a big win. I don't think many would have picked Coast. I'd pick Coast to win, but very narrowly I would have said within 7. So credit to them. So
as a lot
King
of people,
Country will be back. Yeah.
Oh, they will be back. Definitely, they will be back. But as a lot of people are aware, I didn't sever ties with West Coast. That was done for me. But hey, I'll still keep up all the stats. They had 8 new caps in that starting squad. And of course, on the site Might Have Red and White at westcoastrfu.com, shout out for me. We still have all the stats. We still have all the history. We still have all the games that West Coast have played since 1890. So check it out. But I was having a look at the new players. So the Samaki boys, they're out of Tasman. The first 5, his name's just completely left me. He's out of Otago. And, of course, Jin Hun Moon, the little plucky South Korean who's played sevens for South Korea. And I believe he might have even captained South Korean sevens team. So he's been playing club rugby up there in Christchurch. So it's good to see a few of these players trying to do a Fabian Holland, come from little places around the world and get New Zealand citizenship.
Cam Burgess is that first 5.
Yeah. Thank you, Cameron Burgess.
Cam Burgess, but it is great. Yeah, they look like they've got some dangerous players there.
Yeah. So anyway, so after all of that, as I said, the quick rundown on those scores there. So as you can see, all pretty much went to plan. I still think my little results slide was a little bit better, but I haven't seen a table yet. But here is the table, which we whacked up the other day. So there you go. Horowhenua South.
I'll be happy to leave as this.
Yeah. Well, they're the top 4, though. So we've got Horowhenua, South Canterbury, West Coast and Wanganui there, currently in the Meads Cup. Can't read into it. But and then Mid Canterbury, Poverty Bay, Wairarapa Bush. And then, of course, the bottom 4 there, Ngāti Porou and North Otago, King Country and Bulla. It is going to be, the score, 5 teams all picked up try bonuses. The thing there that makes me sort of go, that's not too bad, is that Wairarapa, even though they got beaten by a top side, still walked away with a point. I was quite happy if they picked up a couple of bonus points, but those last 2 tries killed it. So, that if that didn't happen, they could have been up there and above Thames Valley. So
bonus
but,
points
hey,
are critical.
Yeah, so early days, and for everyone, we will keep on saying if they end up being at the end of the year head to head, it goes on the head to head result. If they're tied, then it becomes a point differential. Then it's try scores. Then it's points scored, and then it's a coin toss, which is interesting because in football, a team apparently went completely unbeaten this year somewhere in Europe, and another team went unbeaten. The two played each other and had a 0-0 draw, and the team that officially came second, scoring less goals, lost the coin toss to win the championship.
Wow.
So, things do go down to coin tosses. But anywho's what have we got here? We've got a message from, I'll just remove that, from Andre DeJu. Finally, we get the Rabbits Warren of Heartland on the show.
He's talking about me with my Ray Warren rugby league, or they call me the Ray Warren of rugby union, apparently, him and James Marshall. But Andre DeJu, big man in the South Canterbury region. He's done a lot of work, coached South Canterbury A last year, and has done a wonderful job with the Marist Albion Colts. But great to have you on, Andre, and you're a fantastic coach and gives a lot to rugby. So
is he any relation to Steve DeJu? He was coaching the Ashley Division 1 side. Was he any relation to him? No.
Possibly. I know he's got a lot of family. I know in South Canterbury he's got a lot, but he could well be. I'll have to find out. He might even come back with the answer to that. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is, as I said, just drop your comments down below. We'll try and answer them the best we can. But now, I mean, hey, why not? There's only one place you can have a bet now, and that's at the TAB, because that's the only place you can allow. And apparently it's all good to talk about gambling, but we're not allowed to talk about having a beverage. But hey, you can gamble your heart away on this weekend's games, and we'll bring it up so everyone can see. It all kicks off round 2, Saturday, 2 p.m. at the Ashburton Showgrounds. Oh, I wonder which way these two are going to pick. I'll start with you, Mr. Mike.
I'm going to back Mid Canterbury, but yeah, it's going to be a good game. I think I watched the replay of Horaphanua and Buller, and I think Horaphanua are going to be a different kettle of fish this year. Their forward pack's looking really strong, and our forward pack's going to need to be on their game. The Oval's looking good. They've been keeping rugby off it for the last few weeks, so it's looking good, which is a credit to the groundsman. But yeah, I'll say Hammers by 12.
Yeah, well, as you can see there by the stats, and I've just realised I should have had this a bit better sorted, but hey, who cares?
Done well.
So as I said, if I had taken all my average score picks, the top half of these stats are Heartland games only, because these two teams have been going head to head since 1983. So it's not a huge history between these two teams, with Mid Canterbury leading 18 points to 7. But in the Heartland, it's been Mid Canterbury all the way, 13 games, 10 wins, 3 defeats. Average score there of 30 points, or 32 to 21. But if we have a look at your last results, Mid Canterbury on a 4-game winning streak.
It says it all. It's very hard to go past Mid Canterbury. Stats don't lie. We've seen over the last season and trending into the first round of this season. I think it'd be a real gamble to bet Horaphanua Kapiti will beat them there, as much as they look like they've improved out of sight in that first round. I'm going Mid Canterbury in this one by 15, but they'll have to work hard. Horaphanua Kapiti showed they can compete from 1 to 15.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing, because I know Mike's going by 100. Clarence Campbell is saying it's going to be a draw.
That's not a bad bet. Not
Well,
a fair gamble.
it brings up a good question. I'm standing there with two CEOs at Masterton last week, the Vice President of New Zealand Rugby, President of South Canterbury, and at one point it looked like it could have been on for a draw. And I said, are we going for – that's how, as I said, it was the 2 late tries that killed the game for Wairarapa. But last year and the year before, we've had the stupid golden point thing happening on draws, right? And then they went, oh, no, I think it's only for the playoffs. But can we is that a guarantee? Are you aware of that, Daniel? Do we have a draw, or do we still go to the stupid golden point?
Well, my understanding was, I will need to confirm this, but my understanding was it's only golden point for the playoffs. So if it's a knockout game, then you go to golden point. And my understanding is this year, if it's a draw, it's a draw. And I'm hoping that's the same. And I know many people are hoping that is the case, that if it's a draw, let them draw. Both teams have worked hard. Both teams have competed. And I think it's a fair way of doing it. People always think you need to go to golden point. Now, I understand if that's the way they're going and that's what they're doing in the finals, but my understanding and hope is, and we will need to confirm that, is during the round robin, a draw's a draw.
Yeah. And what about player welfare? They've been bashing each other for 80 minutes.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
well,
Levi Harmon. Yeah, well, Levi Harmon went off late in the game against South Canterbury for Wairarapa Bush with a injured sternum. So, imagine what would have happened if it ended up going to extra time. It could have been.
Well, look at King Country West Coast last year. They had to bring on their starting players again. You got to remember, these guys aren't All Blacks. And as quality as they are, the fact if they've got to play 100 minutes or whatever it may be, like you saw in the West Coast King Country game, they're out on their feet and they're having to bring their starting players back on who had already come off, reserves had come on, everyone's cramping up. And, it's pretty tough for them. Yeah.
So, anyway, the next game will be live on the telly. Again, this week we've got King Country, Poverty Bay. But the other thing is they are playing for the Bill Osborne Taionga, our first challenge of the season. So, at Taupo there, Poverty Bay coming off the win against East Coast. King Country wanting to bounce back after their defeat. What do the stats here say? 15 games, and Poverty Bay are leading this 8 games to 7.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna plug for a King Country bounce back here, but I think Poverty Bay need to be kept safe.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah, I'm going to go King Country to edge this. I think Poverty Bay were outstanding to beat East Coast, and I think we'll see an improved Poverty Bay side. But I think King Country wouldn't have liked getting beaten like the way they did by the Coast, and I think they've got the team and ability to get a job done there at home in Taupo. King Country 7 and under.
Oops, where are we? Yeah, well, the average difference between these two teams is only 4 points, so that's a good shout out. We have a look at the just recent results there in Heartland. This will be also the 50th match between these two unions as well, with King Country leading by 29 to 20. But, I mean, last year in Gisborne, King Country got up easy 49 to 15. The last time they played in King Country, it was only a close game, only 8 points in it. But there's been some high-scoring games there in Taupo or Tikawiti, 48-26, 30-24. So it will be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, Bill Osborne Taonga on the line will bring a lot of pride and a lot of extra effort, I'm sure, from everybody out there wanting that prestigious trophy as well. So that'll add a bit of feeling to the game. That'll be fireworks, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing is, it is what we needed, and I'm still an advocate to give the Ranfurly Shield back to Heartland. No disrespect to this trophy at all. No disrespect. But the thing is, when you're getting, how many people at Eden Park? 12. I mean, if this game was being played in Taupo and it was a Ranfurly Shield, you would have people from all over the joint travelling to Owen Delaney Park, and they'll have 4,000 or 5,000 people. I knew I should have turned that off. I'll just tell young Tanya.
Hard to argue.
Yeah, I'll call her back. But yeah, I wonder why she's calling me. But yeah, because to me, the Ranfurly Shield, the gap, we saw it in the 2 pre-season games. The gap is far too wide. And if they are wanting to get the grassroots pumping, Ranfurly Shield back into Heartland. I'll keep saying it because I just think that's where it should be. It was an amateur trophy. Keep it amateur. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah. Okay. So the next game after that will be South Canterbury taking on the Swamp Foxes. They're at Timaru on their nice new ground. Just be careful, Thames Valley, if you've got a supporters bus, because apparently something happens to your windows. Yeah. So huge match. Can the Swamp Foxes bounce back, or will the Stallions of South Canterbury inflict more pain on them?
This is going to be battle royale, but I'm going to go with South Canterbury. I think their class will prevail. Hopefully they've got all their men back this week, and I think they're going to inflict some pain on the Foxes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 13 games to 5 at the moment. They've definitely got the wood on. Again, though, there's only a try difference over the Heartland history between these two teams, 28 to 21. But if we have a quick look at recent results, South Canterbury, they're on a 4-game winning. They could be on a 4-game winning streak against Thames.
I concur with Mike as well. They've beaten them, and as you just alluded to, their Rebs, they've beaten them in the last 3. So they've got a little bit of wood on them in the last wee while. But I think at home, I still think they're a strong side. They haven't lost all too many players, South Canterbury, and that is a tough task for Thames Valley. They want to bounce back. They will have to play out of these skins. I don't think to win. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. But my head is saying South Canterbury by 10 in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards South Canterbury too. I just thought they took a while to get started against Wairarapa Bush last weekend, and that's always first game, jitters. Especially for any new guys there. And as I said, I'm sure the management were there saying, okay, if you play better next week, you'll get a bigger bonus.
And credit to Wairarapa there. We're starting well against South Canterbury.
Yeah. So what I'll quickly do, though, is I'll just quickly go under here because we have got a question that's come in from Brian Headway. Which team after round 1 has had the best scrum and who's had the worst scrum? And should teams prioritise props as lone players? Good question.
Great question. My understanding is it's hard to argue. I think teams could. I think scrums are critical nowadays because if you've got a really good scrum, you're winning scrum penalties, and set piece is key a lot of the time. I know some of these games are very open running rugby, but I think props are critical in this comp as well. I saw a few good scrums. I'll let you guys comment first on what scrums you thought were strong. What did you make of the scrums there in Masterton, Rhett?
Yeah, Wairarapa Bush had a good scrum. They've got the Leomanu brothers prop in it. They had Lewis Bush, who's back from Hawke's Bay, in there at hooker. And, they got some experience there on the flanks, and they really did give South Canterbury a bit of a shake-up. So they're going to be really, really good. I wouldn't say they were the worst. I'd say they were about midway of all the teams, but at the higher end of the midway. South Canterbury, as I said, first game up, a couple of new combinations in there, but, Nigel Walsh knows how to operate those guys. But I think if I look at all the games that have happened, I think, and I'm going to say Mid-Canterbury. I'm not saying it because you took it from there, but I think Mid-Canterbury really, not just in the scrums, but just their whole forward play was amazing. And
they got a good scrum.
And the worst would have to go down to Thames Valley. They just, I think even Buller held their own against Horowhenua in their big defeat. But Thames Valley were just monstered. And they had no answer to the forward go of the Hammers.
Yeah.
The best, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mid-Canterbury. Obviously, Fridgie in there. He's been around a while. He's 150 games for Southern and over 50 for Mid-Canterbury, so he knows how to scrum. And obviously, we haven't got Callum Burrell this year; he's having a year off. But I thought our scrum looked really good.
Yeah. Well,
West Coast have a strong scrum as well. Potentially Wanganui for mine.
Yeah, didn't really see a lot of the Wanganui game. Only because I was getting pissed off that North Otago threw it, threw in the towel early. No, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it while I'm doing other work during the week. Now I've got the wife out of the house for the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's great. I can do what I like. We were just talking about the South Canterbury game. Our draw maker, Clarence, he's going South Canterbury by 12, so it's pretty much a no-brainer there. So what we'll do now is we'll have a look at the next game. And, of course, it's the huge Arthur Wicks trophy match between East Coast and West Coast. Battle of the Coasts. Well, gentlemen, Ruatoria, great place to visit, great feed. Been there, done that, ticked it off the bucket list. So they've played 15 times, and East Coast are trailing there 5 games to 10. Kahu would not be a happy camper after last weekend, Mike.
Yeah, I thought they were quite disappointing, actually. There was a couple of names missing that I thought would have been there, Richard Green being one. Obviously, they haven't got the services of Sammy Parks or Tarangi Fraser this year, but it's a hell of a place to get to. I think last time the Hammers been up there, they left on a Thursday, and then they had 2 days of travelling ahead of them. But I'm going to go West Coast by 5.
Yeah, well, there is only a try in it after 15 games. Danny, you think West Coast are going to take the Arthur Wicks back home with them?
I think so. They've got a pretty good record up there at Whakarua Park, and I honestly think with their forward pack and the fact they've got some dangerous backs as well to add to that, I think West Coast will be too strong. I think East Coast will play better in front of their home crowd, and they've got the ability to be able to win on the day. This one I think will be really tight. Mike talked about it before. Could just be a try in this. I think it'll be very weather dependent as well. I think if it's in the wet, it'll really suit West Coast and their forwards. But I'm picking West Coast to edge this one here. But East Coast they'll certainly put up a scrap.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, 2022, last time West Coast were at Ruatoria, East Coast got the win by 2 points there. I actually remember watching that game. West Coast could have won that with a late penalty, but it just drifted to the right. So they were lucky to get that one. And, I mean, it was their first home win in 10 years against West Coast back 2012 when they had the checkbook out, winning everything. So it was, I mean, we've had some close matches, but, after watching the West Coast game, I definitely would have King Country a stronger team, maybe, than East Coast, because not only were they not missing Sam Parks and Tarangi Fraser, Fletcher Carpenter, he's playing for the Bay of Plenty B side, the Toa this year. So, because East Coast is now part of the Chiefs region, we're seeing a few of these players being dragged over to the Bay of Plenty clubs. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. Yeah. How those losses will be. So, I'm going to go West Coast. And just because we've got someone that wants to be against us all day, Clarence Campbell was saying East Coast will bounce back by 12 points against West Coast. Yeah, nah. Oh, hey, my show. I can call him out. Nah, it won't be. I can't see it by being 12 points because this week, oh no, I'm thinking of a different game. Sean McClure, he came off the bench last weekend against King Country. He was first cab off the rank, and I think he goes to 98 games now under his belt for West Coast. So, he'll be wanting to sort of get into this game if he's named, because I think the next game after that is a home game at John Sturgeon. So he'll want to do the amazing, shout out to get his century behind Malali Mudu and Troy Tafari from last year. So, it's going to be an interesting matchup. So, but we're all going West Coast.
On reps. He certainly does. Good Kiwi lad out of Hooker Ticker, and you can't coach experience like that in Nous and knowing what to do, and he runs a pretty good cutter there in the back three. So I hear what you're saying. Yeah, we can expect some fireworks for him getting closer to his 100, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's only taken 130 odd years for West Coast to have a third Centurion. So fingers crossed he keeps his health and his fitness going. So, okay, so we're all going West Coast. So then we go over to Oamaru. And, of course, they are still building their new grandstand in Oamaru. So this game is going to be played at the AMP Showgrounds. I know nothing about this park. Gentlemen, educate me.
I don't know too much about it either. Donnie will be able to shed some light on it, but I'm going to go West Coast to bounce back only because I'll get arseholes from Ralphie Darling, so I'll say North Otago by 10.
For mine, I see this as a really tight encounter, actually. I think Wairarapa Bush, if they scored nearly 30 points against South Canterbury, they can't be a bad side. North Otago, I've commentated them down at Western, and I've also done I believe it's Whitestone Contracting Stadium there in Oamaru. So this sounds like a third ground. I wish I had more detail on the showgrounds, because unless I'm presuming it's not the main stadium, Whitestone Contracting, unless they've renamed it, that's the one over as you drive in, over to the right as you come into Oamaru. But yeah, I'm not sure if they've renamed it the showgrounds or not. I'm picking North Otago to win this very narrowly. I think Wairarapa Bush will be in the fight. As you can see, some very tight results, a bit of a blowout last time, the two sides. Beg your pardon, sorry, a couple of big blowouts of recent times. If you look back further, though, it's pretty tight as teeth. I don't expect a huge blowout here. I think it'll be close. I think North Otago will edge it by 10 points or less.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the great thing about this is these are two teams with awesome history. You got two Meads Cup semi-finalists here. They've met twice. You've got the semi-finals in the Lahore Cup. I do agree with you, Daniel. The game Wairarapa Bush did last week, they were good. They were in the fight until that last few minutes of that match. So I think this winning streak, which is currently at 5, which North Otago have done in Heartland twice now, I mean, they'll be looking at trying to get break a record and go 6 in a row. But these teams have only been playing since 1972. If I can just try and bring that up. Oh, where are we? Oh, no, it's not going to let me do it. Is it going to let me do it? Let's have a look. Oh, okay. You can hardly see it. But as you can see there, back in 72, it was all Wairarapa Bush, W's there, a couple of wins. But then, it's come to Heartland, and they have had, bloody making everyone sick here. Wairarapa Bush had the start, but then North Otago took over. Wairarapa came back, then North Otago, and then they chopped and changed. Law of averages, it's Wairarapa's time to bounce back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It could happen.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Wairarapa Bush to win by 10. Mike?
North Otago by 10 and under.
And our good friend who's watching, Clarence, North Otago by 8. So a good spread there. So that's yeah, I think we'll be in for a good game, and hopefully they will have the live stream happening. And hopefully, if they do have the live stream happening, have some sort of commentary or show us the scoreboard, because last year they very rarely showed you the scoreboard and you didn't know what the score was half the time. So hopefully the crew down North Otago are watching. But yeah, so it's 2-2 there, so we can't split these two, so it's going to be an awesome game. And then we've got the last game, which is the Buller Boys taking on Wanganui. It's the 14th game in Heartland. Wanganui have won twice, 3 games in a row. So they're looking at, I think that's currently where we're at the moment. Yeah, 3 games. So they're currently looking at breaking the Heartland record for 4 in a row. Now, these 2 teams have been playing since 1907. Now, the only reason they played that game was because Buller played Auckland in a Ranfurly Shield Challenge. And then on the way home, popped into Wanganui and had a game.
Fantastic.
It took them 60 years before they played Wanganui again. 1967 was the next time these 2 teams had played. And Buller got the win, 15-12 at Cook's Gardens, which is amazing. But this game this weekend will only be the 30th time these 2 unions have gone to battle in 117 years. How awesome is that?
Yeah, that's very little, isn't it?
Yeah, and unfortunately, the last time they met, Wanganui recorded their largest ever Heartland victory. Buller recorded their largest ever defeat. Wanganui recorded their largest ever point spread. Buller recorded their largest losing point spread. And the last time they played in Wanganui, it was only, 8 points difference because it was 83-7. But last year, after that 83-7, Wanganui travelled to Westport and got away with a very, very tidy 13-5 victory, which just goes to show you, not good travelling to Westport, because before that, Buller won 22-21 back in 2019.
Yeah, this is going to be, again, it's another big travel schedule for the Butcher Boys, travelling down to Westport. They have been struggling with injuries this year, but I think we're going to see Wakawarogo run right. I think I was reading a stat yesterday, he's got 43 or 42 tries in 43 games or something silly like that. But yeah, Wanganui by 30.
Daniel?
Yeah, I think police are investigating that last result still, 90-7. That's quite a blowout. For poor Buller, I think they could be in some real trouble here. I think Wanganui have got dangers all over the park. I think it'll be high scoring. I think Buller won't have a problem scoring tries, but I'm picking Wanganui to win by 40. No disrespect to Buller. I love them. They are spittable. They've got some of the greatest blokes across the country there, and always make you feel welcome. I love Vic Square. I just think they could be in a bit of trouble. I hope not. I hope they prove me wrong, and they may well do. This might even spur them on, and hopefully it does, but I'm picking Wanganui by 40 there. They've just got so many dangerous outside backs, and I think their captain, Douglas Horrocks, is an outstanding player, New Zealand Heartland player, and he brings a lot of experience into that forward pack. And from what I saw last week, Wanganui don't have an issue scoring points. So that's my thoughts on that one.
Yeah, no, a quick shout out to the Horrocks family too. They lost Mr. Horrocks as well. So thoughts are with the Horrocks family there at this time, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, Buller, new CEO and Mr. Phil Gower, his first big game at home at Victoria Square. Murmurs I'm hearing that the mighty Thor will hopefully be bringing up his 50th cap if selected by Buller, which is also an amazing feat considering, Buller don't play a lot of games. And and to get 50 is a good shout out. Alicia Torre, he couldn't make the game against Horowhenua due to personal reasons, but he should be back, and he's a monster to defend against. So just for the hell of it, I'm going to go Buller to upset at odds of 150,000 to 1 to beat Wanganui by 4.
Good on you.
You're a brave man, Red.
I know. I mean, I can't always keep getting, what do you call it? Yahoos. But yeah, shit. We haven't even got to, I think that's the last of the Heartland ones. Our friend Clarence is the same by 12. So he's been a bit thingy me bobby about it. But yeah, so Heartland, shit. See, we can just literally, I mean, you watch all these other shows on telly, right?
Mm.
And they're all about the NPC and all that, and they might put up one result about Heartland at the bottom. We've just spent 50 minutes talking about Heartland. You know, there is a thing called the NPC and Farah Palmer Cup and all that. So, I mean, literally what we can do there, because, you know, I do like to keep the show only going for an hour. What we can do is just have a quick look at the I'll go to this screen here so we can see it. The results here. Big win. I had Southland to win that. I was shitting myself at halftime, them being down 22-0. Yeah, what a comeback by Southland, gentlemen.
Michael Manson.
Yeah.
Incredible. He's the fastest guy in New Zealand rugby, in my opinion, and that was a comeback for the ages. Southland moving it wide, and I think Nick Shearer was incredibly influential, the halfback, showing some wonderful timing and vision, and he's a fantastic recruit for them, and credit to Southland, and great to see former Swamp Fox as well, Fletcher Morgan, lighting things up down there and scoring a try on debut as well.
Yeah, and also a quick late mail from Panapa there, Papanui, Poverty Bay by 12 and under, so he'll be watching that game on Saturday. So I think there's going to be a lot of interest in that match on the telly on Channel 50, Freeview 15, and Channel 4 Sky Open. So you can, if you don't have it, you can watch it on the Freeview. Anyway, this game, I went Bay of Plenty only because it was at home. But Canterbury are showing, again, the goods.
Yep.
Yeah, masterclass from them. Took them up front, made guys like Eklund and Akui make a lot of tackles. Sam Derry was exceptional. Corey Kello scored one of the more special tries, and yeah, they just played some really smart footy. Made Bay of Plenty tackle all day and just held on to the ball, and that's a big win up at Tauranga, avenging their semi-final loss up there last year. Really, I must say it, I know I'm down there, but really good signs for Canterbury NPC side, who have been up and down in previous years. They've just beaten Wellington, Auckland, Bay of Plenty on the bounce. You'd be pretty happy to be 3-3 there.
Yep, no, definitely were. And then, of course, the Marco travelled up to take on the Taniwha. The weather conditions were a bit iffy, but Tasman, I mean, they're making every post a winner at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they've come right, and they're scoring tries, and they look like they've got a bit of cohesion since their first game where they just couldn't capitalise against Bay of Plenty and hold on to the ball. And when they get in the 22, they haven't had an issue over the last couple of weeks. They look like they've got their mojo well and truly back, and guys like Lester Whanganuku, Ethan Black had a lot of experience, and as I mentioned before, you can't coach that. They'll be a really tough side to beat, and that's a good win for them.
Yep. And then, of course, poor Auckland. Started the season, exciting new side. Second game, we've got to remember they're a young team. Third game, worst ever defeat by Taranaki. Or against Taranaki, shall I say. I know the work colleagues of yours, Daniel, but some of these Auckland commentators and Auckland-friendly commentators have got to pull their head in, because the thing is, NPC, you should be good enough. End of story. You should be able to play for Auckland. You're the biggest catchment area. You've got North Harbour playing rubbish. You've got Counties playing rubbish. Well, they had a good game against Waikato. But then you got Auckland. Northland are the better team at the moment up north. What is happening at the Auckland Rugby Union? You've got to start asking these questions.
Yeah, you can't be losing like that, a proud union like that. You can't be having 42 points slapped on you in the pouring rain. Absolutely not. I know these things can happen on the day, but yeah, they will not be impressed with that. The Josh Jacobs show shows how dangerous Taranaki were. Everything worked for them, but yeah, they'll be really disappointed as a very proud union, and those teams up north, they are struggling. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, well, Josh Jacob broke the Taranaki record for, I think he got 30 points or 33 points in that match, to the most points by a Taranaki player. So, and then, of course, Logan Mitchell, he's jumped on here now going, up the Naki, and then he's saying, Wanganui by 60 points plus. Well, we'll see, Logan. I'm loving the people chatting today. It's good because it can shut me up sometimes. But Harbour, Hawke's Bay against Harbour, took them a while to get going, but Hawke's Bay again, one of only 3 undefeated teams, got up over North Harbour in their anniversary season. Again, at least they did better than Auckland, North Harbour. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm here. Yeah, no, the Magpies look really good. And North Harbour aren't really having a good season so far, are they?
No,
they're not. And I'm still waiting for my cousin's boy, Tim Farrell, to get a start because he's a bloody good prop. I know he's in the squad. So, his old man used to play for Hawke's Bay back in the day as well. Beautiful photo of him having a handbag with a Tongan player when Tonga did a tour. And it was front page whack into a Tongan. It was an awesome photo. But anyhow, but good on the Magpies. And then, okay, can we just run past this one, or it's your opportunity? It's your opportunity, guys.
Dylan, sorry, Donnie. Dylan pledged a masterclass. I think that springs to mind.
Yeah, it was just like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It was sort of like we were up 14-0. I'm going, oh, okay, yeah. I actually went for a walk after the test match, and I was down at Petone Beach, and I saw this old guy walk past with a big O on his hat, and I go, good luck today. And he even went, oh, yeah, we'll be lucky. Well, he got lucky. He was up, watched the game from Dunedin, and so congratulations to him, mate. His trip a worthwhile one. But the Gibson Trophy's back down in Dunedin. But I tell you what, does he not be a spitting image of his father?
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching him play, and I just kept on seeing John Timu. It was crazy.
He was exceptional, Caleb, and so were Otago. They're going to be a strong side this year, I reckon. I really do. They can score points. If they don't get injuries, they're going to cause some real havoc. And what you said, Mike, Dylan Pledger is going to be a real one of the future, and it looks like he's starting to shine through now. But you're right, he does look like Johnny the T, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, it's just crazy. Same hairstyle and everything. That's the thing. It was the hair that got me. And Clarence, Wellington should have won. That was just so disappointing. It's about time they moved a Mr. Savia to the side a bit and had a look. There was a couple of opportunities where 20 years ago he would have taken off and you wouldn't have caught him. Now he's more of a trolley bus, not an electric bus. But anyhow, so where are we at? We're at, and then, of course, this game here, I thought Waikato were going to get upset there at Hamilton, but they held on to get the late win, 27-26 over a much improved County side.
Yeah, the Mulu boys were lucky there, weren't they? They just got out of danger, just.
Yeah, totally. So where are we? So 3 unbeaten teams, Magpies, Bulls, Canterbury. And, of course, at the moment, the table, we'll bring that up now. So we've got Taranaki on top, Hawke's Bay and Canterbury there, just difference. I mean, the bonus points are already starting to make an impact there, as you can see, with Canterbury only having the one bonus point. But Taranaki, that plus and minus, got a nice sort of bonus there against that game against Auckland. And then, of course, we've got Bay of Plenty there, Tasman and Otago and Waikato fighting out the top 7. But, I mean, you look at these bottom teams, Wellington, current champions, Southland, now the 2 perennial wooden spooners, you've got to say, and then followed by Northland, Auckland, North Harbour and Counties. Exactly what I'm saying.
Top of the North.
Yeah, everything north of the Bombays are doing rubbish.
Hard to argue.
It is hard to argue. I mean, I don't support the Warriors, right? I'm a Rabbitohs man. Woo-hoo, go South Sydney. We won last weekend. But the thing is, are they just having an issue? All teams, there's 9-3, they're all 0-3. It's sort of like you have to blink and look at that table after 3 rounds, don't you?
Yeah, no, they well, to be fair, I don't support Auckland Rabs and I don't support Canterbury either. No offence, Donny, but they're playing like shit, those bottom 14.
Yeah, no, it is ridiculous. And of course, this weekend, and as I said, I haven't even got a graphic because I completely forgot. Actually kicks off on Thursday, and it is a bit blurry, so I'll just read it out. Bay of Plenty up there at Rotorua Stadium on Thursday night, 7:10, are taking on Southland. So Bay of Plenty here to bounce back.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got Hawke's Bay, the 2 unbeaten sides, Hawke's Bay on Friday night. This will be a good game, this Hawke's Bay Canterbury at McLean Park.
100%.
Hawke's Bay.
Hawke's Bay, and I'm not too sure.
I'll go Canterbury to edge it with their experience.
Sorry, what was that?
Canterbury to edge it with so many Super Rugby players playing and their experience.
Well, depending on the weather, I'm going to head towards Hawke's Bay to win this. It's a hurricane. Well, it's a hurricane thing. I have to go Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, good on. They could do it.
Yeah, and I'm unsure if they do get a thing, but Panapa, I know he'll be going Magpies if he's saying Magpies to win the Shield. So, I mean, yeah. And then on Saturday, kick off 2:00. Taranaki taking on the Mulu men. Taranaki are just going to keep going, aren't they? They're on a roll.
Yeah, too strong at home. They'll be too strong.
Yeah. I'll be sitting on the bank at the showgrounds having a couple of cans, but yeah, Taranaki definitely. Yeah.
Now North Harbour taking on Tasman. I don't know if Tasman went home or they just stayed in the sunny north for a week after playing Northland. They may have stayed up there actually. At North Harbour Stadium. I'm just going to go Tasman to win that.
Tasman.
Yeah. Okay. And then the Battle of the Cellar Dwellers. Oh, that sounds so good. Auckland taking on Northland at Eden Park. I have to dig out my history books. When was the last time Northland won at Eden Park?
Yeah, good question.
Northland for me.
Yeah, Northland for me. Daniel?
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go they would have got an absolute rocket after last week's performance, and I think Auckland edge it because of the fact they would have been suffering all week.
Yeah,
from
totally. And no one will be surprised. I'll never pick Auckland, even if it was Auckland versus Auckland. It'll be a draw. And then on Sunday afternoon, early kickoff time of 3:30. Otago taking on Counties under the roof at Forsyth. Well, Otago for me after their win against Wellington.
Yeah, agreed.
The mighty blue and golds take that one at 1:35 on Sunday. I like the look of them. Got a soft spot for them as well, which Mike will be happy to hear, I'm sure. And yes, I think Counties will compete. Counties Manukau. they look like a pretty proud union. They look like they've got some dangerous players. I probably have Dalton and Hoskin playing there. Yeah, I agree with Panapa there. I think Auckland will bounce back, but Otago beat Counties Manukau, I feel.
And then, of course, okay, so we're all going Otago. And then, of course, Wellington travelled up the road to play the baby brothers of Manawatu at CET Arena. Wellington need to win this. This is a game that Wellington could lose.
Yeah, I don't see them losing. I think they'll be too strong in that fixture.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to play well. They'll have to play really well because Manawatu have shown some great signs and glimpses. Guys like Nani Lamapi, Brett Cameron bringing plenty of experience and danger. But I think Wellington will be too strong there.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to make some comments show up a little bit smaller instead of cutting your face off there, Daniel. So Clarence Campbell, he's gone Bay of Plenty, Hawke's Bay, Naki, Harbour, Auckland will bounce back. Counties and Wellington. So I'd say get on the TAB and take a multi for that because I think you'd be
it'd be worth picking Manawatu. I mean, if there's going to be an upset or a change in result, that's probably the one that could go either way.
Yeah, well, I will definitely be going. I'll definitely be going Wellington, of course. And then, of course, what we can quickly do is just have a quick run through these ladies' results because we'll talk about everything. And it's been a great show. So the Cyclones finally got a big win over a much improved Bay of Plenty Volcanic side after their big defeat last week by 45-31. The Harbour girls got up over the Fio, who, remember, only a couple of years ago, we're getting a ton put up against them. So they are improving Taranaki, aren't they?
Very much so. Very much so. And it's great to see they obviously brought some new players in and highly competitive there.
Yeah, and on the bench came off, I think her name's Brenda Cavican, out of the Wairarapa. There's her, Xanthi Somerville, and I can't even think of the other lady from Hawke's Bay, but three of them all come out of the Wairarapa Bush Women's Program. So there is a pathway there for the Heartland girls to get into the Whara Palmer Cup, which is awesome. Even with Bay of Plenty, I think. Yeah, Jordan Tihora, she's out of the East Coast. You know, Ruby Tui, she's from the West Coast, your neck of the woods. Yeah, so you know, there's
coming through.
Oh, I know. And then, of course, Northland got up against the Marco. Well, is it Marco? What's a female shark called? By 25 points to 7. Poor old Hawke's Bay, though, got demolished by the Cantabrian girls by 72 points to 0. And it was a double dose of glory at Potorua Park with Otago Spirit getting up over the Wellington Pride by 32-26 in a tight match. Not a good day for Wellington against Otago, was it?
No, it was a great day for Otago rugby, though.
I know. Don't remind me. And, of course, Taranaki Waikato got up in another identical result to the men, 27-26. I've only just picked that up, which is interesting. So the top of the tables there in the Premiership, you got Canterbury, you know, every poster winner. And then it's a logjam, Counties, Waikato, Auckland and Manawatu. And now it's just pretty much going to be a battle between Bay of Plenty and Hawke's Bay, who go down to the championship next year to be replaced by either Northland and Otago or Wellington. To me, I think Otago have been going good. They've got some North Otago girls in there. But I think Wellington will bounce back in that competition. So I think we have run to the end of those. No, we've got the draw coming up this weekend. So the draw this weekend, if I can bring it up and try and read through my horribleness. All games Saturday, Sunday. We've got Taranaki taking on Tasman at 11:30 in Taranaki. The Canterbury women taking on Counties Manukau at 2 o'clock at Christchurch. North Harbour, Wellington Pride at North Harbour. And at Eden Park, the Auckland Storm taking on Bay of Plenty. That'll be a big game, especially with the Volcanics. yeah, they'll want to increase, their performance on the last couple of weeks. I mean, come from 88-0 to only losing by 30 is quite a turnaround. Down there at Forsyth, Otago playing Northland, and Manawatu playing Hawke's Bay in Palmerston North. Now, I'll just quickly take that off because I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday, and in all due respect, and it's a horrible saying that, to Alice Soper, going, the women aren't getting enough recognition. It's all about the men. Well, all the games, most of the games are being shown live on Sky before as a curtain raiser to the men. And even last year, there were a few men's games that played curtain raiser to the women's games. They are getting coverage. I hate that the way they stir the pot there at NZ Herald. It's just a stupid story. There's a lot of money in it. We've got almost every game from the Women's World Cup coming this week. There is plenty of coverage on mainstream TV and pay TV to watch the women's game. And if it's not there, they are making sure you can watch it live stream. So
absolutely, they are. You can go on YouTube and find them and find your rugby unions. And I'm commentating some of those games, promoting the game myself by commentating some of those YouTube streams. And you should definitely jump on. And if you have any issues, make sure that you are getting hold of the unions on Facebook. They should be directing you to those links, but a lot of the games being televised on.
Yeah,
well,
I know. And,
trying to get those games as much coverage as possible by myself involved in some of the commentary. So get around these women for sure, and they are showing them.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is now we're near the end of the show. There wouldn't be a show this week without, and I've just muted it because I don't like the Aussie commentators. But what? You're the commentator here, Daniel. Did anyone see this result coming?
Deadly Aaron's over. Yeah, what a game, eh? What a game, boys. That one was, what'd you make of it? Pretty fast pace, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah. I think Rassie's boys got humbled by a pretty clever masterclass plan from Joe Schmidt and his team, I think.
Yeah, well, the thing that got me about this, though, was, 22-0 up, I mean, it was a great day for the memes and all that, with the happy face and sad face and all that sort of faces.
Yeah,
he's gone for 4 weeks. He will not be coming to New Zealand. He's out injured.
Yeah, it's a big loss. Monument. Yeah, that's huge, losing your captain for 4 weeks.
Oh, I know. So Jesse Krill, I heard that on the radio this morning, is going to captain them for the next few weeks. But, him not being here and sort of opens the door a little bit for the big game at Eden Park.
Yes, and this is great for rugby itself, seeing the Wallabies win and pull off what they haven't been able to do since 1963. And, yeah, it makes it a few corkers coming up at Eden Park, and what a rugby championship we've now got ahead of us. Yeah,
and of course, not just the Springboks, but the Aussies. They've lost Donaldson, James Slipper, and Dylan Pleshay. So they've been replaced for. They've gone home, I think it was. So they've had a replacement. So we're going to actually see 2 different teams run out on this program next week.
Yeah. Where's Damien? Where's that Damien Aladende? Was he playing for South Africa or was he injured as well?
Yeah, I think we'll see him. They're doing a bit of rotating. It'll be interesting if they bring back guys like De Klerk, Pollard, or Sasha Feinberg and Bazulu. It looks like they're rotating guys, trying to get them ready for the World Cup. I don't understand whether they're specifically injured or not. Razzie hasn't kind of led on, so that'll be very interesting.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, sorry, I just had a click there because Facebook has decided that apparently we can't go to Facebook at the moment. We are still going to YouTube. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's possible. It's saying that the stream might have ended. I thought we could go as long as we like, but we're still going live, so we're still recording this. So we'll put up a full recording of the show after that. But then, of course, okay, who are you going to pick for the? sorry, I'm all over the place here at the moment. I hate it when that happens. But we had, I'll just mute that so we don't have to listen to those commentators. All Blacks performance against Argentina.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think there's some issues. I think there's some issues in the midfield. They need to get Big Jim in there. I think that yellow card by Proctor was just a dumb brain explosion, but it is what it is at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah, it was to me that yellow card was a bit. It could have gone either way, you know. And yeah, it was interesting to hear that Tuipulotu could be out as well. So, but we'll be having like what's their names? Tamati Williams and company back for their next
comes back in, and I think Wallace Satiti comes in. Brilliant first half masterclass. We were clunky in the second 40, but pulled it back in that last 10 minutes, just taking them through the middle. Star players for me, Artie Sevilla and Samasoni Takiaho in the forwards, and the backs, Cortez Radama, Will Jordan, Seven Reese all played pretty well. Bit of work to be done around the midfield.
Yeah. So I've just sort of half pie clicked. I know Sky have rights to this stuff. This is actually off the Rugby Championship official page that is shared to social media. So I will be giving an appeal here because, I mean, if World Rugby and the world want us to share stuff 5 days later, well, so be it. I mean, that's only kicked in after we started showing all that. So, but we'll get out of that, and I'll get out of that because we are running. I know for time. I was going to be showing some stuff. You can still, though, jump onto our tipping comp. The link's just there at the bottom. I'll bring this up here, and I'll just bring this up here and just go full screen. Bring us back up here. This is how the where is it gone? It should be sitting right there. Where are we? I'm losing the plot here. There you go. Show that screen, mister. Okay, no, it's not wanting to show us the screen. So, okay, so what I can tell you is that we had a couple of guys in our tipping comp. Someone called Kearney West Coast picked up 5 out of 6 games, and then Shawsey 05. But the thing is, Shawsey, he got all the games right, didn't get all the margins right, but the leaderboard we have sees Big Dog 1994 leading our tipping comp because he used his wild card. So the thing is, you can still join, use your wild card to catch up to everybody on the tipping comp. So check that out. But as I said, I don't know what's going on here now with all this sharing the screen stuff because it's just really annoyed the piss out of me now. Where are we? Let's just see if I can come back to this table. Let's see if it will show the table. Oh, well, there we go. There's the table. So after the first round, that was weird. New Zealand on top, the bonus point away, both Australia and New Zealand. Yeah. Are these two going to go away from the pack with another win with each other?
I think New Zealand will beat Argentina, and I think South Africa will bounce back and beat Australia.
Yeah, Danny?
In agreement.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty much our show. Oh, no, that's right. We were going to give a shout out to a special person, weren't we? Because back on top of the world. New Zealand are back on top of the world, only because my screen's now sharing. And for those that go, what about the rankings? Well, you'll see we've gone up by 0.45 on the rankings, and South Africa have dropped by 3 points because if you lost to a team below you and you're the top dog, you get hammered. So that's where Australia picked up 3 points and Argentina, of course, dropped 0.45. But then to end the show, we've got to give a shout out to this gentleman here, don't we? Liam Gilhenney Black. He made his debut for Waikato last weekend and became Mulu man number 1269 to go with his Thames Valley Swamp Fox cap number 1269. Have you ever seen that happen anywhere before?
No.
Never in my life.
No, he just has to become an All Black because he's only 100 away. Imagine that for a trifecta. Yeah,
Fair right, wouldn't it?
it would be all right.
Nice dessert for
Yeah. And that rain's just started here now too, by the way, I'd just like to say. So otherwise, that's been the show. It's been awesome having you on, Daniel. And as I said, we are still going live to, what do you call it? Thingy? What do you call
YouTube.
it? YouTube. And so he's disappeared off the screen, but that's okay. Until
Still here.
next week.
I don't know where the image has gone.
Oh, that's okay. He's
I've still got
with
you,
us.
boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all good.
Just
Oh, well.
to the camera.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Until basically next week, I'll get you guys to hang around after the show for a moment, and but we'll end it with a little outgoing video, and then we'll catch us all next week.
Cheers, Red.
Cheers.
Cheers, Rebs. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, guys.
No worries.
Cheers,
See you,
guys.